this economic order quantity. Okay. So what you have to understand is economic order quantity is the ideal quantity of materials to be purchased at one time. So it can be called as the optimal quantity. It can be called as the economic log quantity. It can also be called as the quantity at which the cost of ordering and holding is minimum. Okay, the cost of ordering and holding. Now we are going to discuss what it is. So economic order, see, I can know when I am purchasing my product, in simple words, when I'm purchasing or when I'm making my order, I can make each order separately. Maybe every week I will have to purchase, go with my purchases. Yeah, so in that case, I will make order or every week, or I can also do that if I'm going to purchase that that in every week. The problem with me is I have to pay the transportation, the carriage charges on a weekly basis. That is additional cost that needs to be added with the cost of that raw material. Yesterday we saw that invoice price, right? The net invoice price plus we will have to add the carriage charges, we will have to add the taxes, right? But I have also another option. Now, what is my another option? I can anticipate my demand for few weeks and then I can purchase in bulk. So maybe I have a saving in my transportation cost. Maybe I would be available with some discounts. So in that case, my sole purpose in order to optimize my cost would be to have an ideal quantity of purchase. So that ideal quantity of purchase is decided by looking at what is the cost of carrying it to the premises, by looking at what is the cost of holding it or maintaining it in my store. Now, suppose if I purchase bulk quantity, then automatically I need a storehouse. So the storehouse, what I am having, maybe a little small. I have a limitation to the quantity of raw material which I can stock. So if I am looking at what is the cost of carrying this, if it is too high, the cost of bringing this raw material to the factory premise or the production unit is too high, I might be looking at expanding my storage space. So in every case, when I'm deciding about my purchase, I should be aware about two aspects. One is what is the carriage cost involved in that, bringing that raw material to my factory premise. And second one is what is the cost that I might incur if I purchase in bulk to maintain that in my store or to maintain that in my warehouse. So I will consider both these costs and I will have to pick the ideal cost in order to keep my cost at the minimized level or in order to have my optimized level of cost. Right. So economic order quantity is the quantity of ideal purchase that is suggested for a firm based on its carrying cost and based on its holding cost. So that is why it will have two components to be considered while taking decision. One, of course, other than this, of course, there is another thing, availability. Suppose this particular product is a seasonal one. It is available only during particular time. Then I have no choice of looking at what is the cost of ordering, what is the cost of many. I have to purchase and keep it in my warehouse. Say, for example, wheat. Maybe the production happens on a seasonal basis. At some period, the availability of wheat grains are high. So, for me to go with my production process, if wheat is mandatory, wheat grains are mandatory. So, I might resource that at the time when it is easily available along with the ordering cost, along with the holding cost, I will also consider the availability factor. Yes, that is there. But generally, if everything being at par, if there is no shortage of raw material, if it is not seasonal, I can order it at any time during the year. Then I will look into two concepts. What is the cost of ordering it and what is the cost of holding it or carrying it within my factory premises or my production unit. So first cost is ordering cost. Ordering cost, as you can see on our slide, it is the cost incurred in connection with purchase, and it includes all costs for getting the item into firm's inventory. It includes all costs that is included for bringing the product, the raw material into the, maybe into the store or maybe into the production unit. So it includes all that. Now the second one is inventory carrying cost. It is otherwise called as holding cost. Right. So that is actually the cost incurred on carrying, on managing, on storing this within the factory premises or within the store, within the warehouse. So that is actually, it is called as a holding cost. So these are the two costs that will regulate something called as economic order quantity. The quantity which I have to make or which I have to purchase at one order. When I place an order, what should be the quantity I should order? Is it 10 kg or is it 20 kg or is it 10 quintals? It is decided based on the ordering cost and the holding cost, right? So moving ahead, it looks like this. The diagrammatic representation of economic order quantity looks like this. So you can see that as the number of units order, as I order, see, you can see here the blue line, the ordering cost. When I am increasing, okay, when I'm increasing, so automatically the cost of ordering gets decreased, per unit cost of ordering decrease, because at one purchase I might be getting a discount, I might be getting a greater sharing of my transportation cost. Say initially, if I had purchased 100 units, and if my transportation cost is 1,000, automatically it will be 1,000 by 100, right? So maybe if I am purchasing 5,000, what will happen is I will divide that 5,000 units for this cost, the actual cost. So the total cost is compared with number of units purchased. So it is shared. As the number of units increase, per unit cost will come decreasing. Per unit ordering cost will go decreasing. That is what this diagram shows. This blue line shows. See, here it is number of quantity. But what you have to remember is, at the same time, there is something which is going on increasing. All right. See the black line, the holding cost. When the number of units increase, it is very difficult for me to maintain it, or it is very difficult for me to keep that in my warehouse or to have a better storage facility. So maybe if I'm purchasing large quantity, I might need big warehouse. I might need big storage facility, which can increase my storage cost, right? So the black line is indicating that my storage cost is increasing, right? So I will have to identify a point where the ordering cost and holding cost is meeting at its minimum. So that is the point where we call as, see, you can see the dotted line, right? That is the point where we see that it is called as the ordering and economic order quantity. This is actually where both these lines meet. You can see that the total cost also, as any of this component increase, the total cost also would be increasing. So we have to identify a point where this holding cost and ordering cost meet. So that is the point which we call as economic order quantity. I hope it is clear. So when we have this concept, we often say that we will look at the ideal quantity to be ordered at a time. It is not unique. It is not unique for all the firms. It might vary from firm to firm, and it might vary from condition to condition depending on these. Suppose if there is a problem with transportation, automatically there are many other factors that can increase this cost, like, and another thing is, if there is many shortage of raw material, that is another factor which can affect this. But in the normal condition, an ideal quantity to be ordered, that is what we call as economic order quantity. So that is where the holding cost and here, if you say diagrammatically, It is a point where the lines of holding cost and ordering cost meet when it is plotted on a graph. So this is the in the vertical axis you can see the cost being plotted. On the horizontal axis you can see x axis you can see the quantity being plotted, and when this both meet at a point, that point is what we call as a EOQ, economic order quantity. Right. Now I'm just quickly showing the formula also. This is actually the formula for computation of EOQ. That is root CO by I, where C is consumption of material per annum, the total consumption per annum, right? And O is the ordering cost, the ordering cost per order, and I is the inventory carrying cost per unit per annum, right? So as we say, no, here this is holding cost line, this is ordering cost line, right? So we are trying to compute this point through a formula. What is this point? What is the level of quantity which needs to be ordered at a time? That's what we compute through this formula. So root of, just seeing itself you can learn it easily. That is whole root of 2CO by I. And C is consumption, annual consumption. O is ordering cost per order, and I is per unit per annum. What is actually the carrying cost, the storage cost? That's EOQ. Now I have given you an example here. Can you do it quickly? I'm waiting. Just putting this formula, you can write down this formula in your book. Please write down this formula in your book, and tomorrow please draw this diagram also in your book. Just put down this formula now. Can you write it now?
Okay,
Just
miss.
write it now. Have you wrote the formula?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So,
Yes, miss.
okay, one thing I can do. Can you type in the chat box those who have finished? Because there might be somebody who's little slow. So can you just type in the chat box if you're finished? Yes, majority of you are finished. Good. So I am moving forward. Please come along with me. This is actually a new style for me to teach exercise, even though I had done some online classes. Maybe it is very new for you also. So just take down this question. Try doing that. So what you have to remember this is whole root, okay? Just try, take down the question also in your notebook. After you finish, I'll show the answer. Once you finish, please type in the chat box that you have finished. You can type the answer also. I'm waiting for your answers. If you're finished, please type in your chat box. Some of you have already done. Okay. I believe you're doing. So this is actually how you do it. Per unit, inventory carrying cost per unit you have to find out. So that is 20% of average inventory. So cost per unit is 2.50. So 2.50 into 20 by 100, which gives you 0.5, right? So EOQ, as we know, 2 into the annual consumption is 6,000 unit, and ordering cost per order, it's already given in the question, which is 15 rupees divided by point, because we know the formula. What is the formula? Root of, yes, can somebody just unmute and tell me the formula?
Whole root of 2CO divided by
Hmm.
I.
Yeah, very good. Whole root of 2CO by I. So I is actually the carrying cost. So 20 percentage, which we get as 0.5. So the answer is 600. What you have typed is correct. Now, please quickly, I know the time is up, but what you can do is just take down the question, and this is the homework for you. What you have to do is, you have to, it is an individual task. You have to send it to me. I will open this in Edmodo. You have to upload the answer in Edmodo. Okay, the assignment will be open. You have to do it and upload it as a PDF or JPEG. Please take down the question, and the discussion we will do in the next class. Please take down the question, do the answer, send it to me, upload in the Edmodo. I will open a portal in Edmodo, assignment. You have to log in and upload your assignment there. That is a weekend activity. Just one exercise. Along with that, please try doing more, because EOQ is a definite question for every university exam, a small question, 5 mark to 3 mark question. 2 or 3. You are having 2 or 3 pattern, 2 mark or 3 mark question. Do you
2
know?
mark.
So it normally asks for 2 mark. Yes, you have 2 mark, then 5 mark, and 15 mark. So normally 2 and 5 mark questions. So please do additional exercise. Take down the question. Once you finish it, type it in the chat box.